you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Livin the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you with another growth MINIsode. This will be a bite-sized episode with the goal of setting a growth-minded intention and focus for the upcoming week. Each MINIsode will offer a quote that encapsulates the theme of the week. After the quote, we're going to dive into a weekly focus, something that we can concentrate on for the following 7 days that's small, as well as a physical activity and a nutritional tip. This is going to assist us in working towards a more healthy and optimal way of living our own dream life. And each MINIsode will end with a recommendation for the week. This recommendation could be anything from a podcast episode to listen to, a book to read, an article or paper, or even a social media profile that I think that could help us better educate ourselves towards the overall focus of the week. These minisodes will only be as beneficial to you as you're willing to make them. So if you're playing along with the weekly focuses and the physical activity and nutritional tips, it's going to help you be much more successful, as well as help with your adherence and motivation to do this with someone in your life. So grab an accountability buddy and share on your social platforms the challenges of the week. You never know who is quietly watching and rooting for you. And you never know whose life you're going to inspire just by sharing your journey, both the challenges and the successes. And the ripple effect is unimaginable with who's going to be touched by you motivating and posting and including others in your journey. So let's dive into this week's Growth Minisode. This week's quote comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." What lies behind us and what lies before us, these are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Our weekly focus is going to be to learn one new thing every single day this week. That's right, learn one new thing. Write that thing down to help reinforce what you've learned. And better yet, teach it to someone else so that they can learn as well. There are two types of mindsets that you can cultivate. One is called a fixed mindset, and the other is called a growth mindset. One embraces problems as opportunities to learn, and the other avoids problems out of fear of failure. People that avoid conflicts can be described as having a fixed mindset. And those that see problems as interesting puzzles to be solved have a growth mindset. A lot of times throughout the week, we're going to switch from one mindset to the other. People with fixed mindsets believe that basic qualities like intelligence or talents are fixed traits, and that these traits are responsible for success. They often like to document achievements in their past. When it comes to growth mindset people, these people believe that new abilities can be developed and practiced, and these new things can be learned and implemented into their lives. This view creates a love for learning, and this is a view that most great leaders and artists have in common. For them, life becomes an exciting journey with endless opportunity to figure out the new things. So we want to shift our thinking to growth mindset more often than not and chase the goals of a lifelong learner. So every day this week, cut out 10 to 30 minutes or more of your day to learn something new. 10 to 30 minutes or more. It could be to read 10 pages out of a book. It could be to watch a documentary on something that you're interested in. It could be to listen to a podcast of an expert in a field that you'd like to learn more about. Or you could even shoot for the stars and spend some time each day learning a new musical instrument or a different language. Once you've learned something new, the best way to solidify that you've learned it is to teach it to someone else. So tag me in a story and teach me something new. I'd love to learn right along with you. And if you're unable to teach it simply, then that just means that you don't know it well enough and that you should just dig just a little bit deeper. Growth mindset wins, guys. Moving on to physical activity tip for the week. Your physical activity tip is to take the more challenging path with each decision you encounter throughout your day. Stairs instead of elevators. Jump over instead of going around. Trot instead of stroll. Balance down the curb instead of just walking on it. Spend more time in your day moving more like a kid and less like an adult. Friends, we have to start putting more importance on movement and what the human body is capable of doing. I feel like our movement throughout our lifespan is similar to a ball rolling down the hill. When we start moving as a kid, we get that ball rolling with some serious momentum. It ramps up and it speeds down the hill, and then as it approaches the bottom, the end, it slows, and finally it rolls to a stop, and it's done. I'm going to be honest with you right now. Those last few years of life, if they're going to be without movement, that is what scares me the most about aging. And that fear is what fuels me to move like a kid every single day. We only lose it because we stop using it. I personally believe that we do not have to lose it. So do things every single day that are playful to movement, that are challenging to movement. Move at faster speeds. Hang from things when you have the chance. Balance, hop, skip, maybe even jump. It doesn't have to be risking injury, of course. It just has to be neurologically stimulating to the mind-body connection. It just has to be a little challenging and novel for you to grow. Now, if you can't hang from a bar in a dead hang, holding your body weight up only for 30 seconds, then your grip strength is not where it should be, no matter what your age. And this is used as an indication for longevity. Those that can hold their weight in a dead hang for 30 seconds or longer have a longer, more independent health span than those who cannot. Also, if you cannot get up off the ground from a seated position to a standing position without using your hands, this is a great indicator that you will not live as long as those who can. And there are studies to back this up. These are just basic tests to help test your longevity. And we're going to talk more about this in the future and how to work on these and other fun physical tests in upcoming episodes. But the idea remains for this week. Move more like a child. Be curious. Have fun and play. Challenge your body every single day to do something hard. Next up is your weekly nutrition tip. Before you eat anything this week, simply stop. Take 9 deep breaths, and this is going to take your body into a parasympathetic state, which helps aid in digestion, as well as stops you from autopilot eating. A lot of us are mindless eaters. We could sit in front of TV and eat a whole bag of popcorn without even realizing that we did it. We could be eating our lunch and just scrolling through our devices with no intention on what's in front of us. Hell, I've even seen a lady driving in her car, eating a sandwich while putting on her makeup in the rearview mirror, driving down I-5 at 62 miles per hour. If you don't know, the speed limit on I-5 is 65 miles per hour. The point is, we do not think about what we are putting into our mouths. We also eat while hyped up, while on the go, go, go. You know, we are in that go, go, go state that we always love to live in, especially down here in Southern California. So our goal this week is, when it comes to food that we consume, is to just be a little bit more mindful. There's a reason why most religions have some form of prayer before they eat a meal. And whether you're religious or not, it is so important to take the time to slow down, be aware of what is about to become part of you, and to help yourself be in a better state to digest, absorb, and utilize the food that you're about to eat. So let's do this right now. You can do it anywhere. Whatever you're doing right now, just be aware of your surroundings. It's almost like you're not looking at any one thing in particular, but you're observing your entire surrounding with a soft gaze. Now that you're here, just be aware of all that's around you. Now we're going to inhale through your nose for a 4 count and release it at a slow, exaggerated exhale, however feels right for you. Here we go. Through the nose, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time through the nose. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let it go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. How do you feel? Nice, right? Do this for 9 rounds before you eat anything this week. I'm not telling you to eat less. I'm not telling you to eat more, eat better, none of that. Just breathe before you eat and observe what kind of effects this has on you and the way your food behaviors may change, the way food makes you feel after, or even just the way you might have new observations about the way you are when it comes to your nutritional behaviors. Let me know what this weekly challenge brings for you. I would really love to hear it. And lastly, this week, I want to recommend a podcast to listen to called Stress Activated Foods, Intermittent Fasting, and the Principles of Stress with Ori Hofmekler. This is an episode from the Model Health Show with Sean Stevenson, episode number 261. It was launched December 31st, 2017. And again, it's called Stress Activated Foods, Intermittent Fasting, and Principles of Stress with Ori Hofmekler. Ori is spelled O-R-I space H-O-F-M-E-K-L-E-R. I'm going to include this link to the oldie but goodie episode in the description of this episode. This episode is an overview of how stress affects the body and mind and underlying diseases that come from chronic stress. It's also going to cover how we actually need stress in our lives and how we can use stress to help us be more successful. And that's it, my friends, for this week's Growth Minisode. Each week, we will focus on something new and dial in a different aspect of physical activity and nutrition. Share with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. Post on your social media stories what you've learned every single day this next week. What's that new thing that you learned? Post a video of you moving more like a child or you stopping and taking your 9 deep breaths before eating. And make sure you tag me and share your journey. And let me know if you have any questions or tips that would help your Livin the Dream team that I can discuss on future episodes. I'm going to be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.